cage. On my left, he is fighting out of the red corner, also standing 5 feet 9 inches. He weighed in at 169 pounds. Trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and fighting out of Capital City Fighting Alliance. Originally from Brasilia, now fighting out of Sacramento, California. Introducing Cassio Werneck.
Well, this should be a very
referee in
battle.
charge, Nathan Gulian, now to give instructions.
Cassio Werneck and Toby Amata.
Alright guys, you know the rules. Come out fighting. They can fight. Obey my commands all the time. Back to corners.
All right, you hear the instruction there by Nathan Gulian. We will see this battle between Toby Amata and Cassio Werneck. Lots of people, guys, have told us how good his jiu-jitsu is. We're talking about Cassio Werneck, and we'll find out how that translates into this MMA cage night in WEC. So we're underway.
See if
Amata and Werneck.
Yeah, see if Amata keeps it standing. Try to use striking.
You would think so. I'm sure he's well-rounded, being a fighter in MMA, but when you know the guy on the as a ground specialist, he's a wizard on the ground, you probably want to keep it standing if you can. Amata firing a couple jabs here, trying to fill each other out.
Because Werneck is a southpaw, and Amata wants to throw a straight right
hand.
And he did land that straight right.
Absolutely.
I read my mind.
Landed it right when you were calling it, Steven, and right now,
See if he does the flop here.
Cassio Werneck thinking about it. He just took a knee there by Amata. And guys, that's the interesting part. We've seen so many great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu experts come into a cage, but once they get into MMA, it's a whole different ball game. It's going to be interesting to see if Werneck can settle down and battle in this kind of environment.
It's all about the clinching. Amata is going to give up his back? No, I think he's going to go for a Kimura. It's back. I think it's a mistake here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't like this either.
This is where Werneck wants to be.
He's trying to do a Sakuraba move and get the Kimura from behind, but look, but he's defending the back well, back to front.
Nice shot by Amata.
Yeah, Amata's got some skill, believe me. He's been around.
Absolutely, 18 professional fights and got himself into a very dangerous position, giving up his back, and now he's in the clinch against the cage.
This is basically a Greco-Roman position here with the underhooks, locked hands. Gosh, you just saw Babalu took a bronze medal at the Pan American Championships.
Absolutely.
Greco-Roman wrestling.
Pretty amazing stuff. Guy who's ranked in the top 10 in the world and just so happened to jump on a plane and do pretty well in wrestling. So
tonight's fights are brought to you by Zions Extreme Supplements, providing the very best in nutritional science, now available at GNC stores nationwide.
Appreciate all the sponsors helping us get on the air here on HDNet. And you see the combination there in the clinch. Werneck looked like he could throw there. Kind of loaded up on that left hand. Oh, wild left by Amata, misses. And now Werneck wants to take the fight to the ground.
That shot was a little bit obvious, Jeff.
Yeah, there was no setup.
If Amata has a knee and he tries that again, got to throw that knee.
Yeah, you have to. That's the thing, you know, obviously Werneck wants this fight to go to the ground, but there's so many things you got to do. You got to have a good takedown.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, Jeff. Notoriously, jiu-jitsu is about once you get to the ground, but wrestling is about getting a guy to the ground.
Exactly.
Putting the two disciplines together, you have the ultimate submission grappling.
I agree with you 100%.
So what we see here, we see Werneck possibly, because of his reputation, is going to be dangerous once he gets to the ground. Hasn't been able to get it there yet.
And that's part of mixed martial arts. You got to defend everything. Right now, Amata, even though he's in this clinch, he landed some short knees. Oh, nice left hand there by Werneck.
It's interesting that Amata wants to stay this tight to him. This is inviting going to the ground.
But Amata, his background is submission wrestling. So he wants to test this guy out, but I think he's also got that striking that he's been doing there with his 228th Street gym. And it's right now, it's not a pretty fight, but it's one of those things, a man's doing what he's got to do to win.
Werneck almost landed a couple of those high knees to the head of Amata. Couldn't do so.
I wouldn't be surprised if Nathan Gulian restarted these guys.
And you don't see that too much, Steven, when the guys are standing.
Knee right there.
There's the knee to the midsection there, landed by Amata. There's the left hand. Now they separate. See what these guys can do in the stand-up game here. Amata takes a couple deep breaths.
I think Amata should throw the jab and put the right hand right behind it.
Amata looks a little winded right now.
All that
the arms out. He's shaking the arms out.
Amada should either throw a straight right or throw a right roundhouse kick to the leg.
Both guys circling. Amada wants to set it up. Look like he want to go jab, jab, and a right cross there, but only let go one jab. Oh, a kick to the midsection. Werneck loses balance, stands right back up, though.
It looked like it was a right hand that Amada threw at the same time. Might have landed on the chest. Didn't do a lot of damage, but it was a slip down there by Werneck. And here they're right in our face.
And Werneck right now wants to lock a guillotine in. Now he's in position now to do it.
He's over the arm. It's going to be tough to get
Nah,
it there.
yeah, he lost it. He lost it. Amada, he had it for a brief second, but Amada did the smart thing, moved that right hand up.
I'll tell you what I saw there. I saw Amada really kind of zeroing in on Werneck in the standing position, and it was Werneck that initiated the clinch that time. And I'm beginning to wonder whether Amada is starting to sense that he can dominate in the standing, and he may want to keep it there.
Well, there's one note about history with Toby Amada. Early in Toby Amada's career, way back in the days of Abu Dhabi, I can't remember if it was 1999 or 2000, he competed in Abu Dhabi, and he had the ominous luck to be matched up against a guy named Ricardo Moraes. And if you know who Ricardo Moraes is, he's a 6'7", 300-pound Brazilian, and Amada took him down. So Amada, there's a good shot from the clinch. And
yeah, Werneck landed a couple of those left hands in the clinch. That was effective.
There's that kick where he tried to hit him in the midsection, lost his balance, went down. No damage.
You know, Werneck, we mentioned he wants to surprise him with the stand-up. You see the kick there, and he just kind of fell straight back on his rear end. But, I mean, he would love to surprise him, it looks like, with the left hand or maybe a kick. Those are the most effective strikes that we've seen so far in this first round.
Yeah, you can see that Werneck is still a beginner with his kicking, but because to fall down like that, I mean, it can happen to anybody because sometimes it gets slippery under your foot. But I think he probably wants to keep those kicks away from the body and go for the low kicks or no kicks.
The other thing I noticed with Amada, too, is he's circling into the left hand of Werneck. See right there.
Amada, yeah, absolutely loading up there. Just misses. And we mentioned it's going to be interesting to see how the judges scored that first round as well.
But as I said before, Amada took the 300-pound Ricardo Moraes down in Abu Dhabi, and everybody flipped their lids back then. So he does have a takedown, but we haven't seen it yet in this match.
He just misses by Werneck, and he lands that little left hand. Short left. It's been his most effective punch of the fight so far. And Amada this time, he's the one that initiates the clinch.
I think Jeff is right. I think Amada should just stay on the outside and throw leather. Because Werneck hasn't even been close to trying to take him down.
You know, one thing we mentioned about Amada as well, you know, this heat beating down on him, he got tired at the end of the first round. I'm just curious if maybe that's why he's shooting in, Jeff, is, you know, trying to
Yes.
just trying to wear on him a little bit. He's a little tired. And now it looked like Werneck wanted to try to land a quick guillotine, didn't do it.
Watch for a knee.
Especially when you're leaning over. That's the one thing you got to defend against. When you're tired, you're leaning over, you're susceptible to the knee.
I think as soon as one guy throws a knee to the body, if the other guy traps it, the fight's going to the ground. Because I don't see these guys throwing knees for some reason. They would have thrown one by now. Knees to the legs, fine, but not to the body. Because in this position, it's very difficult to get any thrust behind that knee.
So we're midway through the second round. Ryan Bennett, Stephen Quadros, Jeff Werneck, Ron Kruk backstage, and beautiful night here in Lemoore, California, the Palace Indian Gaming Center. A very hot night. Been right around 90 degrees most of the day. Starting to cool off now a little bit in the evening, which is good news for the fighters. They want a little bit cooler atmosphere.
I'm thinking restart here.
Crowd's getting a little restless.
There's a knee in the left, and that's the one thing. The guys got to stay a little bit busier. They're throwing one punch, they're doing one knee. They got to follow those up.
Yeah. They can't just hold on to each other and wait. They've got to get things going. They got to try things because, after all, the sport is still supposed to be entertainment. But
absolutely. Maybe too much respect?
Yeah, too much respect. Partly that, but partly the fact that Werneck has never been in a cage before. And so he's going to be tentative, regardless of his credentials as a jiu-jitsu guy. The first time a fighter fights inside of a new discipline, it's going to make him, you know...
Pucker factor, no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, the pucker factor.
You definitely want to show your best stuff, and there's a lot of pressure coming from jiu-jitsu and the pride that all the Brazilians have in jiu-jitsu to be successful in MMA, particularly here in the States.
I think this is actually a good opponent for Werneck to take because Toby Amata has not been able to hurt the Brazilian yet with strikes, but surely a dangerous striker with a good sprawl like a Frank Trigg would be a major problem at this point.
Both guys continue to work in the clinch. And Amata just seems content right now just to tie up the arms of Werneck and trying to land some knees.
Do you see that Werneck could do a trip here, Jeff? Or
It's kind of hard with him. He's letting himself lean into the fence. If he had more forward balance, I'd say yes, but he's leaning into the fence, using the fence to hold him up. And no, I don't see that really happening unless he gets his body angle coming in to Amata.
Well, unfortunately, this is where most of the fight's been, right here. I mean, standing up, leaning against the cage, both guys landing minimal damage at all. I mean, just a few knees here and there. And I know the crowd trying to urge him to get it going. Werneck wants to land that high knee. We've seen it a couple different times.
this is a really difficult match to score, I think.
I don't know how you're going to do it. There hasn't been any real standout strikes.
And that's going to be the difference here because in the clinch it's just a lot of upper body wrestling and nobody has had the advantage. I would have to say that Werneck did throw the more knees to the body, but Toby Amata has been cracking the knees. Now look, we got some
left. Oh, the left runs and Werneck hurts him with a big left hand. We saw it earlier, now he continues. How about this? Could the jiu-jitsu guy finish him with strikes? And now he gets taken down. How about that? Werneck landed 5 or 6 lefts that went on
Triangle
and now
right away.
he goes right to the triangle choke. Amata's in big trouble here. This is not where he wants to be. And you see Werneck pulling that. He's still got the triangle locked in. He's going to try to finish him on top. Now he goes to the bottom again. Wow, Werneck, that's it. That's it. Cassio Werneck. Well, it took a while, but he finishes strongly tonight in WEC.
It was a stale match up until that left hand by Werneck, and he hurt Toby Amata, raced across the ring, blasted on him, got him to the ground, sunk the triangle choke. That was a great finish.
It was actually desperation on Amata's part that once he got hurt, he actually turns and shoots a double leg on Werneck, and that set the stage for the fight to go down.
All right, guys, I wanted to see the jiu-jitsu guy win by his strikes. That's what I wanted to see. It almost happened.
Yeah, it was that left hand right there that sent Amata reeling across the cage, and Werneck really started blasting away. And you can see Amata, here we go with a triangle choke, and he pulls the head in, he flips him over. I thought he was going to ground and pound him while he was in the triangle choke here.
He still had it locked in, didn't he, Steven?
But he flips him over again, pulls the head in, and Toby Amata had no choice but to tap out. Big win there for Cassio.
So Cassio makes his debut. It was an impressive one. Let's go up to Jimmy Lennon Jr. with the final tally.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time at 4 minutes 52 seconds in round number 2. A triangle choke submission ends the contest. The winner by way of tap out, Cassio Werneck.
So Cassio Werneck, his MMA debut is a triumphant one. Our very own Ron Kruk making his way up to the cage to talk with the gentleman who gets his first win in MMA.
Very good. Congratulations, Cassio. You hooked up with the one right hand, and then you took him down. Tell us about how you made the move with the triangle choke.
This is the first time I fight mixed martial arts. For 15 years I use Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I use it, try to use my stand-up. I'm pretty new in the stand-up, but after I go to the ground, that's my gong game. He knows that, he's very good, much more experience than me in mixed martial arts, but I train hard. Let's say thanks for Dave Marinobo, my kickboxing instructor, my mentor, Jiu-Jitsu, one of those 10 best guys in the world in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Sergio Penha, my Jiu-Jitsu instructor. Uriah Faber, he's having me help a lot in my wrestling, and King of the Cage. Fairtex, thanks so much for the support. Full contact fighter.
I think you got them all in, my friend.
Just a sec.
Maybe not.
Scott, my chiropractor, my massage therapist, Matt. Thanks so much, guys. You guys do good for me.
First mixed martial arts experience. Congratulations.
Thanks so much. Chris Deem, thanks so much.
Guys, I think he got everyone in except his mom, so we'll thank his mom, too. Back to you at K-Side.
Ron,